what is wife material? How do you become wife material? What do men refer to when they say she is wife material? I have been a wife now for almost 10 years. I have some thoughts about it. I wanted to focus on the skills that you want to cultivate, that you want to develop for a high value man who is also husband material, to attract that man, to magnetize that man super quick. When a man is ready for a wife, when he is ready for marriage, these are the qualities he will be looking for. These are the things that will scream out to him, signal to him that you're a wife. You could be a wife for him. And then that means he's gonna like zone in on you and want to get you, want to pursue you and like win you over. And that's always fun when a man wants to win us over. So instead of talking about qualities you need to have, I'm gonna talk about skills you want to develop, and you want to bring your own personality, your own spin, your own uniqueness into it, because ultimately what makes you super amazing, super special is you. Skill number 1 is emotional control. The ability to regulate your own emotions, especially when a man has big emotions or is coming at you with big emotions. Okay, what are these big emotions I'm referring to? Anger, aggression, explosive kind of emotions that he may be expressing. Your ability to not react with your own big emotions and further kind of explode and drown together in your own big emotions is absolutely imperative to maintaining and sustaining a long-term relationship. We've all been told communication is so important, but you're not even going to be able to communicate, or at least communicate effectively, if you're both reacting to your emotions or reacting to each other and you're all like getting angry and upset with each other. Nothing constructive is going to come out of that. So your ability to calm yourself down and then influence him to possibly calm himself down is very, very important. Number 2, love. Love is a skill. A lot of people think love is an emotion, love is an action, but love is a skill. And the reason I believe love is a skill is that a lot of us don't realize how difficult it is to love someone passionately, okay, over a long period of time. It's easy to love someone in the beginning when they're doing all the right things, when they're doing all the romantic things, when they're doing all 5 love languages, when they're meeting all of your needs, when they're anticipating all of your needs. Then it's super easy to love that person. And you're probably going to be super easy to love too, because you're doing all those things as well for the other person. You're just like kind of in this love bubble, and it's always also easy. The honeymoon period will end, right? You'll fall out of that infatuation period, which is normal. And then it becomes hard, right? It becomes hard because you're not fueled by the natural, like the infatuation period, right? You're not fueled by the chemistry anymore. Now it becomes more of an effort to love. And a lot of times what initially attracts us to someone is also often cause for issues later on in the relationship. So that means if it's super easy in the beginning, hold on to your horses, because it's gonna get hard, okay? Once that trait flips. Now you'll probably want to tell yourself, oh God, there's so much work now. He's not doing the nice things anymore. He's cranky all the time. He's not fulfilling my needs. And what a lot of people do is they quit. That's why the divorce rate is so high. That's why people just break up, because they went into it thinking love should be easy. Like they think that that's how it should always be. That is far from the truth. When the infatuation ends, the honeymoon period ends, that's when the real work of loving someone begins. Loving someone when they don't behave the way you want them to behave. Loving someone when they're having a bad day, when they're cranky, when they're being lazy, through all their flaws and weaknesses, all the ways that you don't like. That's when it requires skill. And here's how you want to develop this skill. You will be the hardest person to love. Okay, you will 1,000% be the hardest person to love. If you can love yourself through all your flaws, when you're not doing what you think you should be doing, when you're like judging yourself, criticizing yourself, and you can still love yourself through that, that is the skill, right? You're developing that skill of loving yourself through that. Then you're able to love a man. This is what the ultimate skill is. Loving a human. When you love yourself, you're loving a human, flaws and all. When you love him, you're loving a human, flaws and all. This is the most challenging thing you will ever do. And if you can develop this skill, you're going to have a much better time in your relationship. You will make sure your relationship will last if you go into it knowing it's going to be some work. It's going to be require some tough times and some skills. But at least then you're prepared going in and you can develop that skill from the beginning. Number 3 is self-awareness and awareness of your own belief systems. Right now, you are under the influence of society, of news, TV, YouTube, social media, your friends, family, your boss. You're under the influence of the world. Unfortunately, a lot of times we start making decisions in our life, important decisions in our life, based on what other people want and not what we want. Okay, this is why you want to cultivate a deep and close relationship with yourself. Okay, you need to know what you are believing, what you want, what your deep desires are, and spend time figuring that out, uncovering your unknown or unacknowledged desires and wants, genuine wants to yourself. The only way you can do that is by spending time alone. Spending time alone to journal, to think, to reflect, to find and refine who you are, who you want to be, what you want, because you will change. Okay, you will not want the same things you wanted 10 years ago. You may not want the same things you wanted last week. Your mind may change. And if you're constantly under the influence of the world, you may be thinking you want something, but actually you only want it because you think other people want it. It's not coming from your own genuine desires. Right? And that is the fastest path to be miserable because you're not fulfilling your own desires, you're fulfilling someone else's desires. And that's how you lose yourself. Ultimately, true happiness comes from within you. It doesn't come from other people. It doesn't come from your partner. So you really want to cultivate that relationship with yourself. Number 4, communication skills. This is how to communicate, what to say, how to listen, how to use clean, clear, direct, concise language to communicate a message, the message you want to communicate. The truth is, we often misunderstand each other. As humans, we have different belief systems, we use different words to mean different things, and there will be a lot of miscommunication. And if there are miscommunication in a relationship, we'll end up destroying the relationship because you will think something is true when it's not. Okay, and you won't be able to fix a problem if you're talking about totally different things. So communication is absolutely vital and you want to learn how to do it. Not just to communicate a message, but also to understand the other person, to negotiate things with the other person, influence the other person so you can get what you want, but also so they can also get what they want. So you come out of it with a win-win scenario. And the last skill is to take personal responsibility, personal ownership. This is very important that you are mindful that you're not giving your power away to men. In this society, we are still dealing with an imbalance of power, patriarchy, where men have a lot of power in a family unit, in the relationship, and you want to be really mindful of that and to notice early signs when a man is toxic, overly controlling is setting you up for that imbalance of power. Okay, this is something I feel very strongly about, that you have to take responsibility for that. You need to look out for that and you protect yourself. Ultimately, your personal well-being, happiness is the most important. You don't want to be in a relationship where a man has access and control over resources that you would need. So you still want to be able to maintain your power, your responsibility to be able to make choices, individual choices, independent choices in your life, even though those choices may influence him, but it will not directly conflict with him. Now that you finished watching this video, you may want to check out this video here where I talk about the 7 feminine qualities that men love but would never tell you, to learn more about how to become an irresistible woman to high value men. I will see you in this video right here, and I will talk to you real soon.